Israel's vaccination campaign is going strong, with 3.2 million people already vaccinated with the second shot. But a real concern for health officials are the various mutations that might compromise the effectiveness of the campaign. In efforts to prevent the entry of new variants into the country, Israel is set to start a new program. People entering Israel will carry an electronic bracelet to ensure they stick by the strict quarantine rules. An Israeli manufacturer will provide 100 units for the pilot.
The system doesn't spy on you, with the exception of one thing, making sure you are in quarantine.
According to the Israeli government's plan, upon arrival, every traveler will be tested for coronavirus. If the test comes back negative, they have the option to isolate in a coronavirus hotel or at home, but only if they agree to wear the electronic bracelet. In Hong Kong and New Zealand, the bracelet program is already underway.
I have a bracelet on me. As you can see here, it's marked with GPS, so they know all the time where I am. A few times a day, I need to scan it with my phone.
For now, only 2,000 people can enter Israel under special circumstances. The COVID-19 hotel is an expensive and ineffective solution. According to the Ministry of Health, only 30% of people entering Israel were evacuated to the designated hotels. Some applied pressure to be released to their homes. Others presented fake approvals. Israel's Constitution Committee extended the isolation in COVID hotels until Tuesday. By then, they hope, the government will legislate the electronic bracelets, taking another step to ensure the public's health.
There's never been anything like this virus in our lifetime. Often, it's hard to see the effects it's having on our children. Has this conversation taken place in your home?
Mom, I'm scared about going back to school. I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to get you and Dad sick.
Our scientists tell us there are 3 things we must do to stay safe. Wear masks, make sure we social distance, and wash our hands. And now, your school, with the help of Microsoft Corporation, has created another. Introducing Daily Pass, your exclusive ticket for safely going back to school. Each week, you can schedule your free on-campus COVID test. The results are displayed in your Daily Pass. And if you choose to take your test off campus, you can post the results in your Daily Pass. And the moment vaccinations are available, you'll simply be able to schedule yours through your Daily Pass. But the real magic is your daily health check. Just answer a few simple health questions every day, and like magic, your entrance ticket appears.
Welcome back.
Welcome to school.
So, how did it go?
Dad, I have to admit, I was scared at first, but then I felt so safe. It was so good to be back. Thanks for keeping me safe. I love you so much.
I was appalled, like you, at the violence and destruction that we saw that day. I was appalled that you, our country's elected leaders, were victimized right here in these very halls. That attack, that siege, was criminal behavior, plain and simple, and it's behavior that we, the FBI, view as domestic terrorism.
Of their own policies against violence and incitement.
So certainly social media on January 6th, as for the domestic violent extremist threat more broadly, has become a major factor, a catalyst, if you will. The increased speed, dissemination, efficiency, accessibility that it provides, it facilitates a greater interconnected nature in a more decentralized way. And so I sometimes say terrorism today, and we saw it on the 6th, moves at the speed of social media. We are moving in a direction. We saw it on the 6th, and we're seeing it more and more every day in this country, where violent extremists, just like other bad actors, are taking advantage of encrypted platforms to evade law enforcement. And the social media companies and the technology companies are moving more and more in a direction where if we don't come up collectively with some kind of solution, It's not going to matter how bulletproof the legal process is or how horrific the crime is or how heartbreaking the victims are. We will not be able to get access to the content and the evidence that we need to protect the American people. And then I think...
Yeah, a terrible situation out here in Holtville. Let's show you some video from the scene. You're going to see an SUV absolutely crushed by a big rig. We're told this happened around 6:20 this morning on the 115. Where we're at, we are not far from the Mexican border. We are in southeast California. What the question is right now is why were so many people in that SUV? According to the CHP, there were 25 people inside that SUV that got crushed by the big rig. As far as what caused the crash, they're still investigating that, but we do know the outcome. 13 people were killed in this crash. 12 of them pronounced dead at the scene, another pronounced dead at the hospital, many others taken to the hospital, still there getting taken care of. Now, the question I said, what were those folks doing in that SUV? So many of them packed in there. Obviously not a legal situation as far as driving with that many people in the car. There is a kind of a dual economy where we're at. We are near Calexico and Mexicali. It's the border here. It's really considered by many who live down here one economy. You have farm workers who come in from Mexico legally early in the morning. They come up here to the farms and work. They get driven from the border to the farms and then back down to the border later in the day. You also have the issue of illegal immigration here in this area where people sneak in and sometimes get in situations like this as well. What was this situation? The CHP says they're still looking into it.
So the question is, are they farm workers or immigrants? We don't know that. It's too early in the investigation to say what they were doing and where they're coming from.
Now, they did say that they are working with the Mexican consulate as far as IDing some of the folks who were killed and also some of the folks who were taken to the hospital. But as far as the situation, again, as far as what those folks were doing, so many of them in that car early this morning, they still don't know. Just a terrible situation. The investigation still playing out.